evening and thank you for joining us here on the Daily Report tonight, the 5th of January 2024. We're glad you could join us tonight. We have so much lined up for you on this broadcast, but first, the highlights. Tonight, Busia Senator Okiya Omtata now challenges President William Ruto to produce evidence of any judicial misconduct.
No, just standing there and mismatching people is not right. These judges have a right to a good reputation. It's enshrined in the Constitution. So that reputation cannot just be played around by anybody, not even by the president.
As Kenyans fault the president for the incessant attacks towards the judiciary.
Tena imeanza kulaumiwa ya kwamba haifanyi. Sasa tunashindwa shida iko wapi kwa koti, kwa sababu bereni walikuwa nasema ni nzuri.
Umefanya. 5 people in custody of a blogger Ganiel Muthiani alias Sniper's murder as calls for justice dominate his requiem mass in Meru County.
Koti ya mwananchi wa Meru inajua muuaji ni nani.
And Health CS says Kenyans could have lost at least 20 billion shillings in dubious NHIF claims.
Mnajua kama hii hospitali ya St. Mary's, kama sio wale walagai ambao wanafyonza pesa kutoka NHIF, inastahili kuwa imeshalipwa.
Once again, welcome to the broadcast. We invite you to engage with us on our social media handles at TV47 News on X, TV47 Kenya on Facebook. My X handle is at Grace Kuria KE. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Roda Nyamai, and my name is Grace Kuria Kanja. Now, Busia Senator Okiya Omtata has Friday stood his ground in his fight for the Constitution, accusing the government of smearing the judiciary negatively. The senator, come human rights defender, has called out the head of state on his allegations of judicial corruption without any evidence. Stanley Nyaringita kicks us off tonight.
In his steadfast fight for the Constitution, Busia Senator Okiya Omtata has condemned the Tuesday remarks by President William Ruto, directing his executive to defy court orders obtained by corrupt means.
His authority, which is the presidency.
Speaking in Nairobi Friday, the senator come human rights defender has asked the president to soften his hardline stances and apologize to the judiciary as well as Kenyans. Omtata has faulted the head of state for smearing the judiciary negatively by not providing evidence on his allegations of corrupt judicial officers.
No, just standing there and mismatching people is not right. These judges have a right to a good reputation. It's enshrined in the Constitution. So that reputation cannot just be played around by anybody, not even by the president. If he has evidence, let him raise the issue.
In his charm offensive, the Busia legislator has further distanced himself from any allegations of bribe giving to any judge presiding over cases that challenge the legality of the housing fund levy.
In fact, we want a situation whereby we are able to support the president and rally behind his projects for this country. But not a situation whereby he is using the projects he has to undermine and overthrow the Constitution. We can't allow that.
Those who are corrupt in the judiciary must be called out for corruption without undermining the independence of the judiciary.
Mtu akishachukua nchi na wacha yeye anaongoza bila anavyotaka kuongoza. Every leader has his leadership style. Ana njia yake ya kuongoza. Hata ukilia ufanye nini ni kuvumilia, na kuvumiliana ndio sawa. Huwezi kubadilisha, kila mtu anatoka kwa jamii yake. Ukitaka kumtoa unapata shida, na huwezi kutoa kwa nguvu. Lazima uvumilie mpaka wakati ukwishe, uvumiliane as Kenyans for us to press upon peace for the future of our country and our children.
On his part, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah has called upon the Law Society of Kenya President to act upon corrupt members of BAMBA who are conduit of corruption in the judiciary.
Part of the reason why we are in the trouble we are in is because of past cases of state capture
and corruption in our country, including corruption in the judiciary. And I thank you, Paul, because you have not shied away from stating facts as they are. That we got to a point where even part of our judiciary system was captured by the former regime.
Despite the alleged smear campaign on the judiciary by the government, the legal fraternity has stood its ground on the planned peaceful nationwide protests to champion for the independence of the judiciary. With the big question being, is this a clean-up on the judiciary or a witch hunt?
Thank you, Stanley Nyarengita, for that. And still on matters judiciary executive impasse, now a section of Kenyans have weighed in on the impact of the remarks of President William Ruto Tuesday, directing the executive to defy court orders obtained by corrupt means. According to the Kenyans we spoke to from Nairobi and Nakuru counties, the judiciary and executive should have a dialogue and soften their hardline stances. Further, some Kenyans have urged each arm of the government to look at the speck in their eye before pointing a blaming finger on the other.
Kuingilia mahakama hiyo sio vizuri, wacha koti ifanye kazi yake.
Sikubaliani na Ruto atii sheria vile mwananchi wa kawaida anatii sheria. Constitution ni ya kila mtu. Judiciary ifanye kazi yake, rais afanye kazi yake.
Venye iko lazima tuseme judiciary ishike line yake. Na executive nayo ishike line yake, na tukienda hivyo ndio Kenya tunataka. Hatutaki Kenya yenye fulani inainukia ile ingine.
Hatuoni tukiendeshwa vizuri kwa sababu hivi vita vya judiciary mala executive si wakae chini wajadiliane, maana sisi wananchi ndio tunaoumia. Sasa tungependa hivi vita vyao wakae chini waweze kuelewana, ndio sisi mwananchi wa kawaida ama mpiga kura tusiwe tunaumia vile tunaumia kwa wakati huu.
Kwa maoni yangu mimi nikiulizwa, mimi naona koti haina shida lolote. Hao ndio wanakuwa na shida wakiguzwa, kwa sababu koti ni independent, serikali ni independent, wote wako kisheria. Lakini koti lazima isimamie haki yake ya kulinda mwananchi wowote, kuona ya kwamba kila mahali panaguzwa inasimamia, kwa sababu ndio iko independent. Kwa hivyo kwa maoni yangu mimi naona koti ikiwa sawa.
All right, now the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has asked the court to grant them 21 more days to hold 5 suspects arrested and linked to the murder of Meru County-based blogger Daniel Muthiani, alias Sniper. Now, the sleuths say the 21 days will enable them conclude investigations, adding that more suspects are yet to be arrested. All these on a day that a governor's son and brother were also arrested. George Maringa reports.
1 month and 4 days. That is the amount of time that the family of Daniel Muthiani, alias Sniper, has been seeking answers since his disappearance. Come Friday, some headway. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, under a certificate of urgency, has asked the courts to grant it 21 more days to conclude its investigations while holding 5 suspects. According to court documents seen by TV47, the 5 are Kenneth Mutua Materi, alias Gasigi, Frederick Murioki Kyogi, alias Pop, Timothy Kinoti, alias Timo, Murangeri Kenneth Gwantai, alias Tali, and Franklin Kimathi, alias Duduras. The investigating officer further states that the 33-year-old Sniper was lured by the suspects through phone that Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza, whom he was criticizing politically, wanted to meet him for a truce with an aim of working together. Sniper traveled from his home within Igembe South Sub-County to Meru Town, where he met with the suspects, and thereafter he went missing. Irene Kawira Kamenchu, Sniper's wife, tried to contact him in vain, prompting her to report the matter at Maua police station. According to the officer, the DCI is yet to arrest other suspects involved in the murder of the blogger. This happened on a day that a governor's son and brother were also arrested in connection with the murder. Kawira Mwangaza's chief of staff in Chambambithi, on the other hand, has confirmed that the bodyguard was taken to custody by police officers on Thursday evening. He, however, faulted the frequent arrests of Mwangaza's staff, claiming that they were living in fear over the matter. In the meantime, a requiem mass for the late Meru blogger Sniper was held on Friday at Kerio Stadium. The mass brought together Meru residents, family leaders and bloggers from across the county and country. The leaders present, while commending the DCI for efforts made in investigating Sniper's death, have requested the investigating arm of the government to arrest the mastermind of the death, alleging the killer is known now that the suspected closest allies have been arrested.
Please hear the feelings of the Meru people. Please hear the emotions that we carry, and let the government of Kenya help us as quick as possible to bring this matter to rest.
Na tunataka serikali ya Kenya kwanza itushikie muuaji, tusafishe Meru County. Tuko na viongozi wengine,
lakini tunaomba na tuko na imani waweze kukamilisha, na mwenye hicho kitendo ambayo ndiye actor aweze kupatikana ili tuweze kumaliza hii game. Tuko pamoja.
A postmortem examination conducted on the body of the deceased at the Marimanti Level 4 Hospital mortuary in Tharaka Nithi County revealed that he died of strangulation. Government pathologist Johansen Oduor, who conducted the examination, said Sniper had marks on his neck and exhibited signs of a person who had lacked oxygen. He also had fractured ribs and showed injuries on his head, which suggested that he was strangled before being thrown into a river. Following his death, leaders came out to condemn the cold-blood murder, with Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki vowing stern action against the individuals involved. George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, George Maringa, for that. So a family from Mkanyageni area of Old Town Ward in Mombasa is looking for their loved one, Amin Mohammed Alawi, who was arrested by armed men believed to be undercover police earlier this week on Wednesday. The whereabouts of Amin are still unknown, an issue that has raised fears of a possible enforced disappearance, as the family members have been looking for him in different police stations within Mombasa with no vein of finding Amin. They have issued a one-week ultimatum to the security units to provide information about their loved one, failure to which they shall organize a protest.
Amin Mohammed Alawi, a 28-year-old tuk-tuk driver in Mombasa, had joined his friends to a hotel in Nyali on Wednesday evening, where a group of armed men with guns believed to be undercover police officers approached them when they asked for their respective phone numbers and names.
Wote wakalalishwa chini, wakachukuliwa yeye. Sasa mpaka sasa tumetafuta station yoyote, police station wote ya Mombasa, hatujapata habari yake mpaka sasa.
Walikuja na majamaa, walikuwa watu wengi, ameshikwa yeye peke yake na undercover. Walikuwa na mabunduki wakina mapistols.
Amin Mohammed was, however, taken away in unclear circumstances while his friends remained behind. According to the family members who have lived in the country as refugees since 2011 from the neighboring country of Somalia, their relative have had no criminal record before.
Tunataka tusaidiwe, tunataka kujua kama akona makosa, tuambie makosa yake na apatikane. Hii ndio muhimu. Kama akona makosa, atapandishwa mahakamani, si shida.
So we are asking the Kenyan government to assist us to find our son Amin Mohammed Alawi soon as possible.
Mathias Shipeta, a human rights activist from Haki Africa, has condemned the incidents, citing that similar cases have increasingly been reported in Mombasa, therefore urging police officers to follow the law when arresting suspects by presenting them at police stations and prosecuting them in a court.
There are many other people ambao wamepotea Mombasa katika miaka mitano, zaidi ya watu 100. Kuna wengine tumewapata na kuna wengine hatujaweza kuwapata. We are praying kwamba Amin ataweza kupatikana So we are calling upon the Inspector General, the DCI, tuweze kujua kuhusiana na kupotea kwa kijana huyu.
The Old Town ward member of County Assembly Abdirahman Hussein argues that Amin's missing case could be an enforced disappearance.
Gone are the days of forceful disappearance. This is a country where we have existing laws. Wherever one is found culpable of any offense, lazima awe booked kwenye police station, and there's no police station that has been booked so far.
The family has called on the government to provide information about their loved one or else hold a protest soon. Paul Munio, TV47, Mombasa.
Thank you, Paul Munio. Now, a report on the investigation into various hospitals across the country that were on the government's radar over fraudulent activities relating to the National Health Insurance Fund, that is NHIF, has been released, with 27 out of 67 hospitals being found to have cost taxpayers over 20 billion shillings. This comes after the government rendered NHIF redundant and instead established the Social Health Authority that is mandated to address and rectify systematic issues perpetuating fraudulent activities within health facilities and ensuring the realization of universal health coverage.
The Ministry of Health has now released a report on the investigations on various health facilities across the country that are said to have been marred by fraudulent activities by feeding off of the National Health Insurance Fund. In the one investigation that happened between January and December 2023, it has been revealed that out of the 67 hospitals being investigated, 27 of them have fraud-related cases, which led to loss of 20 billion shillings worth of taxpayers' money. The said hospitals are located in Nairobi, Meru, Nyahururu, Murang'a, Kerugoya, Makueni, Tharaka Nithi, Subukia, Nanyuki, Bungoma, Chuka, and Machakos. To add on that, many health facilities are said to be involved in enticing healthy students for their biometrics in order to lodge fictitious claims, thus resulting in high financial losses.
Wale ambao wanafanya fictitious claims, mnajua kama hii hospitali ya St. Mary's, kama sio wale walagai ambao wanafyonza pesa kutoka NHIF, inastahili kuwa imeshalipwa. But we have a few elements, wale wanaiba serikali. A few elements. Mtu mmoja anakatwa mguu mara 3 kwa goti. Inawezekana kweli? Mungu anawa. Si ni miti tu ndio ukikata branch nyingine na chipuka. Sasa nimesikia kuna binadamu kwa mahospitali huku private wakikatwa mkono inarudi inamea, anarudi tena anakatwa mara ya 3. Hao ni wafisadi. But I want to send a warning that anybody who is engaged in fraud, your days are numbered.
A few days ago, President William Ruto expressed disappointment at the fraudulent activities taking place in the health sector, saying the main aim of rendering NHIF redundant was to introduce the Social Health Authority, which will be more efficient in achieving universal health coverage to all Kenyans.
Program yote, kuna watu wakora wachache wameenda kotini, wakakutana na wengine wakora huko kotini, ati wasimamishe waendelee kuiba pesa ya mambo ya afya. Hiyo mnataka tungojee hiyo maneno? Tuendelee na hii program ya universal health coverage. Tupunguze ile nini, tuendelee nayo.
The Ministry of Health has now said that it will collaborate with the government and other stakeholders to ensure the health sector is purged of the fraudulent activities.
Tumeleta sheria ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunapunguza hiyo pesa. Na katika pia sheria mpya ya afya tumeleta ile tunaita critical illness, chronic and emergency fund. So katika hii sheria mpya serikali inataka kushughulikia hao watu free of charge.
Vera Alberta, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Vera Alberta, for that. So a day after members of Parliament and the Senate called on the Judiciary to consider the public good amid the ongoing debate on the housing levy, the Judicial Association workers have taken it upon themselves to address the Judiciary. Speaking at Kibra Soweto Affordable Housing Project site, the workers addressed the contribution of the project to their livelihoods as they pleaded with the Judiciary to allow the project to continue.
As the construction workers toil under the scorching sun, It is evident that this is something they look forward to on a daily basis, as it is where they secure their daily bread.
Hii mradi inatusaidia sana. Na mkisema itolewe, mtakuwa mnatukosea kwa kweli. Kwa sisi ni wakaji wa hapa, hata hizi nyumba tunagoja ziishe tuingie tuna save. Sasa kazi ikiisha tutasave aje? Mimi kenye ningeomba ni mradi tu iendelee. Juu hapa ndio natoa school fees, ndio natoa chakula na kulipa rent. Sina kazi, ndio tunagojea.
A project that has employed over 500 people in Kibra has been commended by the residents, as they claim that it has helped fight crime in the area.
So around 500 of them have already committed to saving to the home ownership here.
According to the residents living in Kibra, the high cost of living has taken a huge toll on them, with the cost of many services increasing. But the affordable housing unit has leveled the playing ground by providing employment to the residents, hence they can afford the basic commodities.
Wakati yenye tumeletea mradi kama hii tuishike mikono mbili tusaidie tuinuke, watu wanaipinga, wanaweka siasa ndani. Sisi tunaomba hivi. Hatutaki siasa kwa mradi. Tunataka tuinuliwe maisha yetu ipande juu. Tunataka tu enjoy ile privilege matajiri pia wana enjoy nayo. Na sisi tumekuja kurealize hii mradi inapigwa vita na private developers wenye wanasikia uchungu, nyumba the same zenye zinauzio matajiri na bei kali, sisi tunazipata kwa bei nafuu. Sasa hiyo ndio vita imekuwa kubwa sana, na sisi tunaomba mahakama, na tunaishukuru kwanza kwa kuweka hiyo staying order ya hiyo 1.5 housing levy. Tunaomba tu atushikilie na wasikie kilio cha wanyonge.
The workers have called on President Ruto to stand with the hustlers as much as they did when they voted for him, as they pleaded with the judiciary to look at the positive aspect of the project, as it is their only means to raise the standards of living.
Kitu ningeomba rais ni akufe na sisi. Vile tulikupa na yeye kwa kura, tu akufe na sisi saa hii hapa. Hii judiciary tafadhali, tunawaambia tafadhali. Kama mnataka tutoke nje sisi wote tufanye maandamano ile kubwa sana na watu wa jua kali ni sisi tuko wengi sana, tutatoka tu, sababu hii ni opportunity tumepata na hatuwezi wachilia tu iende namna hiyo.
For TV47, I am Natasha Wairemo.
Thank you, Natasha Wairemo, for that. Now, President William Ruto's attack against the judiciary is not new in the country's executive tussle against the judiciary. Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, best remembered for his "we shall revisit" remark after the Supreme Court nullified the 2017 general election, was always at loggerheads with retired Chief Justice David Maraga. Former presidents Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and Daniel Arap Moi used clandestine ways to deal with the judiciary, with the exception of President Mwai Kibaki, who initialized radical reforms and reduced the executive stranglehold on the judiciary. Apollo Kamau reports.
The country's 15th Chief Justice Martha Koome faces an acid test on a historical dilemma facing her predecessors in the judiciary, who have often clashed with the executive. Koome, who was perceived to be in Kenya Kwanza's good books after upholding President William Ruto's victory in the 2022 presidential election, will have to either stand up against the executive in what appears to be a long-range battle, or set precedents to what critics say is executive intimidation.
It is ridiculous to now hear the biggest political beneficiary of judicial decisions in Kenya's history now accuse the institution of sabotaging him.
But Koome will not be the first to face the threat. Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta often clashed with former Chief Justice David Maraga after Maraga nullified Kenyatta's 2017 re-election bid, resulting into the popular phrase, "we shall revisit" remark by the former president.
Maraga, don't interfere. And don't think that because our friends shout and we keep quiet, that we are scared of you. No, we are not.
What followed were lamentations by the former CJ, accusing Kenyatta of budget cuts and undermining the war on corruption.
The government should lead by example. It should be the first one to obey the law. It should not be the one leading in impunity.
Former presidents Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and Daniel Moi covertly influenced how the judiciary operated. During the two leaders' era, judges served at the pleasure of the president, with Moi removing judges' security of tenure in 1988 only to be returned after international and local pressure. It was only after Kibaki ascended to power that he formed a commission of inquiry headed by Justice Aaron Ringera that recommended the sacking of 20 judges and 82 magistrates for corruption. With Ruto making similar demands, is another cleanup looming in the judiciary.
Thank you, Apollo Kamau, for that. Now, healthcare workers have decried a notable increase in attacks targeting health workers across the country, further asserting that individuals responsible for these attacks are often not held responsible for their actions. This follows a recent incident recorded in a widely circulated video appearing to show a healthcare provider allegedly at Port Victoria Sub-County Hospital in Busia County being verbally and physically assaulted by two members of the public.
Patients at the Port Victoria Hospital in Busia are already bearing the brunt of the clip, which have been since gone viral. Patients already leaving the hospital after healthcare workers downed their tools following a call by union officials who said that will be the case until those caught in the video are brought to books.
There is no work that will go on Port Victoria until the time we are satisfied that the security of health workers in that facility is guaranteed.
However, Busia County Commissioner Kipchumba Ruto has urged health service at the Port Sub-County Hospital not to withdraw services.
We are working with the Budalangi police authorities and also the county police authorities to ensure that those individuals who have since been identified are apprehended and charged in a court of law.
Speaking in Busia early today, Ruto reiterated and confirmed that the security apparatus within the Busia County and beyond are on man-mount to arrest the culprit who caused mayhem at the Port Victoria Hospital early this week.
So that we learn to respect public workers. If there's a complaint, there's a method of lodging complaint.
His sentiments were echoed by Busia County Governor and other Odera who regretted the incident and called on public to respect the services offered by the health practitioners.
Members, as chairman,
Kipchumba, however, urged the health workers at the Port Victoria Health Institution not to withdraw services after the union leaders threatened to paralyze service at the hospital. The union leaders, led by Secretary General Seth Panyako, gave security apparatus had given a 48-hour ultimatum to apprehend and bring to book Vanessa Ongoma, who caused uproar in the hospital, or withdraw their services.
The police and the law enforcement agents, we want to hear within 48 hours that these brats have been arrested, they have been arraigned in court, and due process of the law is being followed. If that does not happen, we have already withdrawn health workers from Port Victoria.
Thank you, Duncan Mutua, for that report there. So it's time now for our very first commercial break here on TV47 Weekend Edition. But don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We're back with more after the break.
Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haiishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni, hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets To the streets, to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Said, on TV47 Business News for market insights like never before.
What's making the headlines? What does it mean to you? How does it affect you? We answer all these questions every Sunday for half an hour on To The Point Show. Hey, I'm Grace Kerio, and a lot has happened this week. Let's dive into it.
The news that matters the most.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, 3 peace ambassadors are reported to have been shot dead this evening in Chisongoch area of Marakwet West, sparking a renewed wave of banditry after months of calm. Here's more.
The 3 who were in a peace mission emphasizing on a peaceful coexistence among residents of Kerio Valley were largely ambushed and shot dead, where they died on the spot. Speaking at T10 County Referral Hospital morgue, leaders led by Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Wesley Rotich, Marakwet West MP Timothy Kipchumba condemned the killing of the peace ambassadors and called upon Interior Cabinet Secretary to act with speed rather than issuing what they termed as empty threats while their people were being killed.
We are, as leaders, we have accepted that anyone who is killing people has no right to live. They should be extinguished so that all of us can be able to live. I am very pained as a governor, extremely pained. And I am telling you, these people have actually hit us at the most important part.
He noted that it is in the public domain that the bandits believed from Tiati staged the attack in the area that has seen a relative calm in the region.
It is time that banditry is declared as terrorism. This is an act of terrorism. It is like we are living in Somalia.
Today's killing has sparked tension in Kerio Valley as residents of the valley ushered a new year of hope and peace, only to begin in tears of banditry.
Ni tendo ambalo sisi wana jamii ya amani na hata kanisa tunapinga kwa maneno yote mazito.
Over 300 people have been killed in Kerio Valley belt, and today's killing adding up the number of those killed by bandits who roam freely with guns which the government promised to disarm with little to show.
Thank you, Valerie, for that report there. So listen, grief has stricken Wakigwe village in Juja, Kiambu County, after hyenas mauled a 10-year-old boy to death. Dennis Taya, a grade 4 pupil at the Rireka Primary School, was in the company of his friends when the marauding hounds attacked them as they were heading home on Wednesday evening. The attack occurred even as 20 Kenya Wildlife Service officers are hunting down the killer animals in villages within Wetethye and Kalimoni wards, following persistent attacks that have left a trail of deaths. The crackdown was ordered last month when the hyenas attacked and killed a woman in Nyakaba village as she headed to work early in the morning. Prior to the killing of Joyce Wamboi, the hounds had mauled to death a 9-year-old boy. The killer animals, according to the village elder Joseph Thiga, dragged the boy to a nearby swamp where they feasted on him before being chased by the locals.
Na tuna huzuni vile Dennis Taya alishikwa na fisi mwendo wa saa 1:30 na hiyo fisi ikamfuta kama mita 300 na mahali ikamuingisha kwa madhaje. Na sasa huzuni ile tuko naye ni ya kwamba mtoto visi hizo zikiendelea kumaliza watoto kama hao, tutapotelea maisha ya uzoni hatuna.
Tulikuwa na baraza jana na tukaweza kueleza watu wa Juja ya kwamba ikifika nyakati za asubuhi na jioni, wakati watoto wanaenda shule na kurudi, wale wazazi wakiweza kuungana kwa vikundi waweze kuwasindikiza wale watoto kwenda shule. Nao pia askari wetu wakiungana na askari wengine watakuwa wakipiga doria katika sehemu tofauti tofauti ambazo tumeweza ku identify na kujua ya kwamba hao ofisi wako.
Sisi kama wakaaji wa Juja hatutakubali tena kuendelea na mambo ya maombolezo kwa mambo ya vifo ambazo ni vifo za fisi kuua watu wetu. Leo tuko na mazishi ambayo inaendelea pande za Juja Farm, na tunauliza KWS waweze kuongezea askari wawe wengi ndio tuweze kuondolewa haya mavisi ambayo yanatusumbua katika Juja constituency.
Now, the first batch of foreigners under the visa-free program landed in Kenya on Friday, just few days after the Immigration Department alluded that the new system established to facilitate a visa-free policy was yet to be launched. This as the government embarks on the rush hour to allow the foreigners who had applied through the ETA system. The Immigration Principal Secretary Julius Bitok says it is all systems go and that everything is okay.
As much as we are making the country visa-free, we're able to collect information in advance of every passenger before they leave their country of departure, coming to Kenya. We're able to know who is coming from America, what time, what flight, where are they going for the last like a week or so, and we're able to get all the details about the person. So we have a more robust system, and for those people we think that we are not sure about them, we subject them to what we call a security check, GI.
And this country is going to another level of digitization whereby application for the ETA is going to be easier and faster, and it's now open country for the world to come in. So we are prepared and we are ready.
The question that was asked about security, the security audit that was carried out in the year 2022 where Kenya performed very well, we could have performed much better if this was already active by then. So as KCA, we ensure that Kenya is complying with the standards of the Chicago Convention, being signatory to the Chicago Convention, the International Civil Aviation Organization, its standards and recommended practices. So Kenya is moving in the right direction. ETA is the way to go, and this system ensures that Kenya becomes more safe and secure for the traveling public and all our citizens at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you. DG Migration, one minute.
Now, a crackdown on unroadworthy vehicles has seen over 500 vehicles nabbed and a number of drivers arrested. The crackdown that was organized by National Police and National Transport and Safety Authority started 2 weeks ago ahead of schools reopening in order to reduce road carnage. Speaking during the crackdown, Traffic Police Commander Sarah Koki urged parents not to let their school-going children enter vehicles with loud music, warning them of devastating impact of drunk driving rogue drivers who endanger lives. Matatu users have also been asked to report any kind of misconduct, vowing that rogue drivers will be dealt with.
Operation tulianza wiki mbili zilizopita. Wakati huu tumeshika zaidi ya magari 500 kwa makosa mbalimbali. Na hiyo ilikuwa wiki moja. Kwa hivyo tunaendelea. Tunaomba watu warekebishe. Ningewasihi wazazi ambao wako na watoto ambao watoto wanarudi shule, wahakikishe ya kwamba wameona wamesafiri namna gani. Wawe pale watoto wanapoingia kwa hizo magari waone ni gari ya aina gani. Tunaonya madereva wa magari wawe waangalifu katika barabara na wazingatie sheria za barabarani. Wale ambao hawatazingatia sheria za barabarani, wakati huu tutawashika, tutawapeleka kotini. Kwa hivyo nataka ya kwamba mwananchi yoyote akiingia kwa gari ahakikishe ya kwamba ako na kiti na afunge mshipi. Hatutakubali watu ambao watabeba katika barabara wakiwa hawajakaa kwa kiti ambao wanastahili kukaa.
Now, the relatives of the 5 family members who were allegedly murdered by their kin at their Karura home in Kiambaa on January 5th, 2021 are now calling upon the Chief Justice Martha Koome to prioritize and expedite the legal proceedings at the Kiambu Law Courts. The family claims that the case has dragged since 2021, causing them significant emotional distress. Lawrence Simon Warunge, the eldest son of the deceased couple, is the primary suspect in the the murder case. He took a plea on the 15th of April 2021, pleading not guilty to the 5 charges of murder.
3 years on, and the kin of the 5 family members who were allegedly murdered in their residence in Karura village, Kiambaa, Kiambu County, are still seeking justice, citing negligence of the case by the Kiambu High Court.
From the onset, we placed our trust in the judicial system to bring the perpetrator to justice swiftly. However, the numerous adjustments, procedural complications, and delays in the legal proceedings have eroded our confidence in the system. We are unable as a family to find closure and move forward with our lives.
The main suspect in the murder of the 5 people is the eldest son of the slain couple, who along 3 others fell victim to the incident on January 5th, 2021. Those murdered include Nicholas Njoroge Warunge, the father of the primary suspect Lawrence Simon Warunge, Anne Wanjiko, the mother of Lawrence Simon Warunge, Christian Njenga, the brother of the main suspect, Maxwell Njenga, the cousin of the primary suspect, and James Kinyanjui Wamba, their farm worker.
The inordinate delay has caused the family a lot of anguish, and they are now beginning to question whether the judiciary as a system is truly working.
The accused Lawrence Njoroge took plea on the 15th of April 2021, where he pleaded not guilty to the 5 counts of murder.
There's only one suspect, one accused person, and that is Lawrence Warunge at the moment. Yes, he is in remand.
The family is now calling upon the Chief Justice and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to review the processes and identify any inefficiencies that have contributed to the delays. In the initial police investigations, Warunge filed a statement with the police admitting to have committed the murder by himself. According to the suspect, he got the motivation to kill his parents after watching a movie by the name Killing Eve. At the same time, he admitted to not having a good relationship with his parents. Warunge said he planned the killing for more than 3 months and wanted to destroy his entire family, but his 2 sisters escaped death because they had returned to school. Andrine Kilemi, TV47.
Thank you, Andrine Kilemi, for that. Now, Angry Coffee farmers and Mukengeria Coffee Cooperative Society in Gishugu, Kirinyaga County, now say that the society continues to register low earnings for farmers, and every effort to seek answers is met with unreasonable explanations. The farmers, who cited poor leadership, have demanded that the management allows them to have proper representation to keep track of the ongoings. The farmers, were led by Harrison Karani, say they will not allow the sale of coffee from the society until their demands are met. They say they are tired of always being given unreasonable explanations on why the coffee is fetching low prices, saying they will not take anything less than a representative in the management.
Ni kitu ya maana sana ile ambaye tunafikiria ati mtu akiamuka wale wanalima kahawa, huu ndio mti ule ambaye unatufanya sisi kuwa matajiri. Tukiona miti kahawa ikienda chini, sisi tunahofia sana, na tunataka hata kuambia serikali ya kwamba kahawa ichungwe.
Siku ya leo tulikuja katika hii factory yetu ya Mukengeria sababu tulikuwa na shinda, hatuna committee member ambao wanaweza kutusimamia katika kilimo yetu ya kahawa. Na vile mwito wa serikali ni kwamba kahawa ama ukusanyaji wa kahawa na ukulima wa kahawa ni biashara.
Hapa tumeungana sababu ya dispensation ya kahawa. Ule mkamiti tuko naye atupe ile huduma, atupatie ile huduma inahitajika. Tumekuwa tukutana hapa mara zaidi ya mara 3 na ile agenda peke yake, ile agenda kamiti inatuzunguza mpaka tukaona hakuna maneno mengine.
All the farmers of Mukengeria factory are demanding that due to their high production, they being given a committee member to safeguard and look at their welfare. So we are assembled here today with the management committee of Kabare, who has totally refused to cooperate with the farmers And we have given them ultimatum that we shall not allow our coffee to go out, nor shall we attend the oncoming annual general meeting or participate in the coming elections or in March.
Now, business activities in Limuru's clothes market came to a halt today after loaders who supply sellers with their stock lost their donkeys to suspected illegal slaughters in Deya sub-county. Limuru constituency aggrieved loaders condemned the rampant business of donkey slaughtering, emphasizing that these animals were their only means to ease carrying loads exceeding 100 kilograms. They have called on the security team to enhance patrols. The business committee urged the Ministry of Trade, in collaboration with Foreign Affairs, to scrutinize importers suspected of demanding donkey skins. In China and other countries, the donkey population is now endangered, giving birth only once per year. Confirming the incident, Limuru Sub-County Police Commander Philip Monia stated that patrols will be enhanced. He urged donkey owners in Limuru to be vigilant and protect their animals, which have become targets for criminals.
Nne asubuhi tuliamkia kupoteza punda 4 na tukaripoti kwa kila mahali kwa stock theft na pia kwa police station hapa Limuru. Na pia hata saa hii hatujapata usaidizi. Usiku wa jana tumeweza tena kupoteza punda 6. Zote kwa jumla ni punda 10 kwa mwezi mmoja. Na hiyo imetugharimu sisi hata kutoweza kufanya kazi na kushirikiana venye tumekuwa, na pia kazi ikakuwa mzito. Hii mizigo ukiangalia hakuna mzigo iko chini ya kilo 100. Kutembea na mzigo ya kilo 100 pia wewe unajiumiza kwa mwili.
Na fichinjio zile zinachinja punda, mimi naomba hizo fichinjio zote sifungwe. Kitu ya pili, hizi gozi za punda zinapelekwa China. Waangalie hawa watu wanaimport vitu kutoka Kenya kupeleka China, zinapitia wapi? Na ni akina nani hawa wako na hizo biashara? Juu ziko na demand sana, inatumia punda. Tunataka wajengewe nyumba za kuweka punda, wapatiwe security. Jioni wakimaliza kazi, wanafungia punda zao mahali ili security inapatikana. Juu hawa watu wako na kazi ngumu ya kulala kama wamekaa na punda zao.
Tulipata ripoti kutoka kwa mtu anaitwa Owen Ngugi kutoka sokoni ya Limuru kwamba iko punda zake 5 ziliibiwa. Ripoti imeandikwa hapo Limuru Police Station na uchunguzi imeanza. Na members of public watupatie report ikiwa wanaona wako suspicious na ile watu wanaimba punda, watupatie report.
Now, in an unusual case of benchmarking, Kerio Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro hosted more than 10 members of Parliament in his constituency to benchmark on his constituency's development projects. Ndindi, who was ranked the best performing MP for using NGCDF to benefit his constituents, took his parliamentary colleagues through the Masomo Bora program that is helping students in day schools in the constituency to pay only 1,000 shillings as school fees per term. The MPs, who were accompanied by their CDF managers and project management committees, also visited schools which have been freshly renovated and tiled, with 10 schools in the constituency also having cabros as well as modern roofing system. Ndindi, who later addressed the media with his fellow MPs, allayed fears on capitation funds for schools, saying they will be disbursed on time when schools resume next week.
Because we keep learning from each other. I learn a lot from interactions with my colleagues, members of parliament. I also visit their constituencies, and we were glad today to also host them for the same exercise that we always do as members of parliament. So basically, this one we call it peer-to-peer learning, because there is no one who is more superior than the other, but we keep on learning the successes of this one. We learn from the success of the other one, because after that then Kenya becomes a much better place.
Nimedhibitisha kwa macho yangu kwamba ikisemekana Ndindi Nyoro ndiye mbunge namba 1 Kenya kwa maendeleo, hiyo ni kweli, because what has been done here is amazing, using little money and giving that money a lot of value. And that's what we want to take to our constituency, to take to the rest of the country, that you can use your money and use it very well. You do more development using the same resources, because ukiangalia shule and the amount of money that has been used mahali kwingine, the same amount of money is being used to do very little work.
Every MP in Nairobi should really look into this model because, one, you bring the fee down to 1,000 shillings, so it's affordable. Right now, people are struggling with resources. The second thing is the retention. The amount of children that come, you've got 100% retention of students. So I think that's something that we should consider because we've got a lot of dropouts, a lot of children that don't finish school.
Nilikuwa tu nakuja kuangalia vile amefanya ikawafanya watoto waweze kusoma vizuri na wazazi walipe pesa kidogo sana in terms of per term. Na nimesoma na nikaona hii program pia mimi naenda kuimplement huko Thika, ndio watoto wangu wale especially wa day schools wao wanakula shule na wazazi ni wapunguzie karo ya shule itoke vile wanalipanga between 15,000 11,000. I make sure I'll be able to reduce by half wao wanalipa 6,000 ama 7,000.
Now, this is TV47 Sports News with Kulik Bet, giving you a chance to claim exclusive rewards like mbuzi, airtime, cooking oil, bus fare, and other prizes. There is also a fully expenses-paid trip to the Mombasa Beach Hotel. To participate, send the word flight 47 to 24550, and you stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Now, Kenyan marathoner Betty Jematai Chepkwony says she is ready to shine in the Dubai Marathon scheduled to take place this coming Sunday. Speaking during the pre-marathon conference, Chepkwony, who is making her Dubai Marathon debut, stated that despite being the only Kenyan in the race, she is aiming to register her personal best, remaining optimistic that she will be in the Kenyan Olympic team.
I'm feeling great and I'm ready for the race. I'm well prepared for the race and I'm really ready to rock the street of Dubai. And I'm ready to represent my country. I'm the only one lady from Kenya and I'm gonna rock the street of Dubai. Yeah, it's very important for me because I've been dreaming a lot to run for my country and to have a big name, to run a big race. And I'm so happy. It's a big privilege for me, also for my future career. I'm very much happy for this. Yeah. It's a great race. It's really fantastic. And it's really amazing because I have had a lot of experience. People are running good. It's a fast race. And they have a nice organization, and that is what I'm seeing from now, that it's amazing. So I'm really happy, and I'm ready for the race.
The very best to you, Chepkwony. Now, Extreme Sports CEO and Super 8 grassroots football tournament has warned the Football Kenya Federation crooks who trample on football stakeholders' rights with impunity. Speaking during a press conference in Nairobi, Hussein stated that according to Article 4 of FIFA statutes, discrimination of any kind, regardless of political opinion or any other opinion, is strictly prohibited and attracts heavy sanction such as suspension or expulsion.
Regrettably, some of these officials have taken the tyrannical route and used their positions to threaten, oppress, and blackmail football stakeholders. I have repeatedly been subjected to discrimination and intimidation from participating in football-related activities orchestrated by certain members within the Football Kenya Federation. The said actions have been malicious, and recently my civil, fundamental constitutional rights have been violated in broad daylight. I'm here addressing you today because this behavior has now become dangerously unsettling and requires immediate and deliberate intervention if we are to restore sanity back into this critical sector. I am here to stand up against all forms of discrimination, intimidation, and impunity in the sports sector.
The FKF Premier League will resume this coming weekend as 8 matches are scheduled to be played in different stadiums in the country. The league resumes after Christmas holiday break, and defending champions will play against Posta Rangers. AFC Leopards, who will be up against Ulinzi Shabana FC, will face Muhoroni Youth, while Kenya Police will welcome Kakamega Homeboys. This is TV47 Sports News with QLickBet, giving you a chance to claim exclusive rewards like Mbuzi, airtime, cooking oil, bus fare, and other prizes. There is also a fully expenses-paid trip to the Mombasa Beach Hotel. To participate, send the word Flight 47 to 24550 and you stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Right, and that's all we had for you on TV47 Weekend Edition tonight. We say thank you so much for your time and your company. Thank you to the entire crew that made this production a success. Our sign language interpreter has been Rhoda Nyamai. I'll see you again on Sunday. My name is Grace Kuria Kanja. Good night.